Hello guys, welcome back to Malik 34 channel. This is Mallikarjun. So in this today's session, I'm going to show you how to drop, how to delete your ASM instance and how to clean up your ASM or ASM grid infrastructure home after you drop your ASM instance. Just to demonstrate that quickly, how the database drop, how the ASM drop, and how the database home cleanup and how the grid home cleanup works out. So if you see here, you assuming that we have uh, our ASM here, I can say that this is my plus ASM. So this might be a standalone or restart or whatever it is. On the ASM, you have your UAT DB or whatever DB. Right now, I have my UAT database which is running under my ASM storage. So ASM instance is here. So if you want to do a complete cleanup, we know our database, right? Our database can be dropped using a drop database. That is a manual command. You have to connect to your database and drop database, or else you can use a dbca to run the GUI mode and the select a UAT database and then drop it. So these are the two methods. Or like the other method is like OEM. Via OEM, you can select a database and you can drop it. These are like three options you can drop your database. And then to clean up this particular Oracle, assuming that this particular Oracle home is running under U01 db home underscore 1, right? So this is my, okay, let me put it here, db home 1. And then, okay, give me a second. Like, let me take it U01 db home, right? It's running it here under this particular db home, and assuming that my grid is running under u01 grid, right? So after you drop your database, you need to clean up your Oracle home. How you can clean up your Oracle home? Either you can run the run installer and clean up your Oracle home, or you can run installer the one GUI mode you can clean up, or you can use a deinstaller. Deinstall is the one, or the run installer. Run installer, you can use it and select and deinstall it, or else you can do a deinstaller and you can use it, or you can do a manually rm-rf, and then you can remove your entire u01 db home underscore, and then do after that post cleanup manually. You have to do it. You have to do manually, like editing your inventory and central inventory and all those things. One is like my preferred method is always go with the deinstall after you drop your database, right? So this is all about database. And coming to your ASM, so you have to remove your ASM using servctl remove ASM. That's the one thing you can remove your ASM, right? So for that, if I can show you few of the mass documents here. Okay, one thing is you have to remove, if it's a cluster node, if you have like 3-4 cluster nodes, you have to remove your servctl remove ASM force. You have to remove it with the servctl command, okay? And then after that, you can use asmca silent mode or the GUI mode, right? So after that, you remove it, like you can use asmca silent mode, or you can use a asmca GUI mode. So this is your GUI mode. So these are like typically three options you can drop your ASM instance. And then after you drop your ASM instance, you can uninstall your grid home using same method, like run installer. And there's a deinstall option also, you can use it. And then again, same thing is go to rm-rf/u01/grid. Okay, like 1 second, I'll make it as a u01. So grid, and then you can remove your entire directory, and then after that you have to do some post cleanup, like as I say, like updating your inventory and other things. So these are the typical option, like how you can drop your ASM and how you can clean up your ASM Oracle home or the ASM grid infrastructure home, and how you can drop your database and how you can clean up your Oracle home. So these are like typical 3-4 options. You can try it out. So what I'll do quickly, I can quickly deinstall drop my database, and I can deinstall my Oracle home, and then I can drop my ASM, and then I can deinstall my ASM or the Clusterware home. Right. So now I have here. Okay, let me go here. Other window. Okay, this is Let me first start my dbca, set my environment to uatdb, and then if I do env grep vara, so that is my set to my uatdb. I can just say dbca, and then it will launch my GUI mode, and then I can select that uatdb and I can drop it. Right, so I can delete option, delete database, and then I can get my database details here, uatdb, and then I can select this one. Okay, I need to pass my password, sys password. All right, so go next, finish. So these are the data file it's gonna delete. Right, so our database drop is done using dbca, and then either you can use OEM or either you can use a manual method drop command. So anything you can use it. And then now we'll use the deinstall command to deinstall our Oracle Home. Let's see whether that database drop completed, not yet. And then this is the log path. User app Oracle CFG tools dbca devdb, and then there's a trace. So don't get confused with the devdb because this database, UAT database, it has been renamed. Earlier it was installed as a dev database, and then later it has been renamed as a UATDB. That's why this particular directory will make confusion here. So if I can go user one app Oracle CFD tools, and then if I go inside dbca, and if I go inside devdb, so drop completed. I can close it. I can one more time. I can run it. I need to clean up other database as well. Like it's already dropped, but some of the registry information is still available. Okay, right. Everything is dropped now. So now I don't see any of the database options here. Right. So now my Oracle, my database is gone now. So now I'll log into Oracle user, and I can directly run that reinstall. The deinstall command will be deinstall command will be at your Oracle Home. So Oracle Home is where is my Oracle Home? Okay, Oracle Home is removed from my Oratab entry. So I know my Oracle Home U01 app, Oracle product, and 19C, DB Home 1, and deinstall. Inside the deinstall, there's a deinstall script. So you just run this one. It's the moment we deinstall our Oracle Home, I will get started with my ASM drop and then ASM Home deinstallation. Right, so it's doing all the deconfiguration of tool, and I'll like specify the list of database names that are configured with this particular Oracle Home. So I don't have any database because I already dropped my database. So I'll just go with the default empty option. So it says inventory location is this is your Oracle Home, and this is your inventory location. Do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. Right, so it successfully started my deinstallation, and these are the log files you can see. Right, successfully it has removed my Oracle Home. So if I can try to go inside my Oracle Home, so where is my Oracle Home? Okay, here it is my Oracle Home. So if I try to go inside 19C, and then if I do LL, I don't see that DB Home 1, right? So that's a way you can reinstall here. So that's done. So other way to verify is you can go inside your central inventory, user one app. The central inventory can be found using cat/etc or inst, and then you will see this central inventory here. And also you can see, you can verify from your log file here. You can see where is that central inventory it has found. You can see it. This is your Oracle Home it has found, and this is your central inventory it has found. The same central inventory can be found using etc or inst.loc. So I'll just directly go into my central inventory, and there is the context.xml file, and go inside that. And inside that, you can see inventory.xml file. cat that one. And you can see here your 19C DB home that is gone now. So you have only this 12C grid home and 12C DB home, which is in the removed option. Right, so 19C option, 19C Oracle Home is gone now. So you can even this removed option, you are allowed to modify this file and remove these entries from this particular Oracle Home, because it is already marked as a removed. These are my old entries are still available, but we can remove it. So if I can try to go to my 12C Oracle Home, that will not be available because it's already removed. So if I do LL, so I don't see that DB1. So I can go ahead and update this particular inventory manually. Right, so that's a way you can drop your database and remove your Oracle Home. And now we'll remove my ASM. As I said, like you can go with ASMCA -silent for silent mode you remove, and ASMCA GUI mode, that is your GUI mode. So let's go to the GUI mode, and I can set the environment to plus ASM. Right, so now I can say ASMCA. Right, so this is your ASM home, and this is your grid home. You can drop your disk group, and you can do all the operation here with ASMCA. So right click on this particular ASM instance, not install this AFD and ADVM driver not installed. Don't worry about that. And disk groups, and this one you can do dismount all. This option, like record disk group, it's going to be, if you do dismount all, it will dismount your disk group. And if you do this data disk group dismount all, it's going to dismount your data disk group. Right, so right, okay, we need to stop our ASM instance in order to remove that one. Right, like let's run this particular command. Go back to your ASM, and I can just run this servctl remove ASM force. I'll set the environment to my ASM instance here, plus ASM servctl remove ASM force. Done. So if I do ps-f grep smon, done. So this has been removed from the cluster now. Now you can use the silent method. Let's form this command here. Let me take a notepad. Right, so delete ASM password file. And then you can get your ASM password file, servctl config ASM or ASM. Right, so that ASM is already removed. Now if you can .inv plus ASM crsctl stat resource -t. Right, so okay, your Oracle home is not set. Let me set it now here. Right, so if I can go one more time. Okay, let's try to connect to your ASM instance now, because it's already been removed here. Okay, it's not written. Let me .inv. Give me a second. .inv plus ASM and your Oracle, your grid home. I'm gonna manually set my grid home, which is my 19C grid home here. Right, so your grid home is set. Now you can try to connect to your ASM instance. That is done. Okay, let's sys ASM. Done. So you can also try your drop, not drop. So show parameter SP file. Right. So this is your SP file, like ASM cmd-p. Go inside your. I just wanted to check my password file, because already it has been removed from cluster. I don't see servctl is working here. So we tried. Let me get that first, and then we will try one more time. So your password file is here. If I do ls, okay, this is your password file lsfnl, and this is your password file. So this is your pwd. So I can just put it here, my password file. right? So this is your password file. Now we can just exit this one, and then if you can do servctl config ASM. So your resource is already removed, because if you remember, we did this servctl remove that has been removed from the cluster. servctl remove ASM force, that ASM has removed. Like the command to add is servctl add ASM, so it'll add your ASM back. Right now we don't need that. Like we can run this particular command. Okay, I'll make it in a single command. asmca silent command is not properly formatted. Let me see what's a syntax error here. Okay, so what we can do now, we can do crctl stat resource -t. We'll check this one here, and you see, like we don't have any ASM instance here, so we removed using servctl. So we'll add it back now using the same command. We'll add using the same command. What we used to remove, right? Where is that remove command? A servctl remove, right? Okay, here. We'll use the same command here. I'll take it to the notepad. Right, so this is our remove command. Okay, config ASM, let it be. I want this command again here. So servctl remove ASM force. So instead of remove, we can add ASM, and then we can see -p and the password file and other things. We'll make that command in a second. Okay, let's see ASM servctl add ASM. So we'll find the add command now. Not here. Okay, here. So command is add 7 listener. We don't need the listener. Let's go back here. Okay, we need a password file. I'll just take this password file here. Password file, and then I can give this particular password file whatever that existing password file. And so I can just add this one here. Go back here. Right, so now we got it. You can do servctl config ASM. Done. So you got your password file and all those things here. Now what you can do, you can directly run that silent command. Where is that silent remove command? Okay, asmca silent force. But again, -h command. Okay, what I can do, asmca silent delete. I'll just do this one. Let's see what it says. asmca silent delete. Right. So are you want to delete your ASM instance? Yes, I want to delete my ASM instance. Right. So ASM instance successfully deleted, and check this particular log file. If I can do more on this particular log file. Right. So this is the operation it has done. It has a lot of things to go over that. Right. So and then if I do ps-ef grep smon. Right. So now your ASM instance is gone. Right. So that's one way you can delete, you can drop your ASM instance, and then since your ASM instance is dropped, you can grep for this Vora, and they can directly do a deinstall. So go to grid home, deinstall, and then deinstall. Right, so if I go back here, we used asmca silent method to deinstall, and then either you can go with the GUI also, you can drop that ASM. And now we are doing a deinstall of my grid infrastructure. So it says this is a listener. which is running under my that specified grid home. Specify all the Oracle restart enable listeners that are to be deconfigured. So this is the only one listener default. I'll go with that default listener. And then ASM configuration was not detected in this particular Oracle home. Was the ASM configured with this Oracle home? Yes. Like right now it says ASM was not detected because we dropped our ASM. Was ASM configured in this Oracle home? Yes, the ASM was configured in that particular Oracle home, right? And then it found diagnostic destination path, and this is my Oracle home path, and this is data and record is group, and ASM string is default, and then deconfiguration of ASM will drop all the disk group and their content and cleanup at the cleanup time. This will affect all the databases and ACFS. If you have like any databases and ACFS running, all that content will be gone. If you want to retain your existing disk group, uh, or if any of the information detected is incorrect, or you can modify them by entering Y. Do you want to modify this above information? If you want to retrieve your disk, or if you want to change any of this, you can yes. If you don't want to modify, you want to proceed further, you can go with the no option, default no. Right, so it detected your grid home, grid infrastructure home is this one, and the installation is this same home, and this is your inventory, and this is your listener which is enabled, and ASM instance will be deconfigured for this particular Oracle home. Do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. Right, so deconfig cleanup operation started now. This is a log file, you can tell it out. Right, so done. So what it says, exception while creating a local SP file, Oracle restart attributes failed with this SP file, and then what else? We can we can check this particular log file here. You can do more, and then this log file here. Right. So the reason behind that is create a temp SP file and create this SP file to this particular DBS location from memory, and done called, and Oracle restart attribute get failed with attribute SP file, and then while creating a local SP file, Oracle restart service failed. Right, so it is unable to create a SP file inside this particular DBS location, because it trying to drop my ASM instance, but I already dropped my ASM instance. Right, so I already dropped my ASM instance. So then it tried to connect to my try to create my ASM instance and try to create my local ASM. So that's no point in that. So it created my ASM instance here. If I can set it back again, plus ASM, and then if I set my grid home, and if I connect back to my ASM instance, right, so it's connected here. Show parameters SP file. So nothing. It is not having any of the SP file, and I can directly kill this particular instance. And then I can try one more time deinstall. Right, so done listener, okay. And was configured, yes. Do you want to modify the above information? No. Do you want to continue? Yes. And again, you can tell this one here. Deleting ASM directory. Yeah, now it's going on. right? You can see here. This is the deconfiguration directory, cleanup started, cleanup ended, and these are the services it has deconfigured, listener, all those things, right? Fine. So now it says run the following command as a root user. I have this particular session here. I can run it as a root user here. That's a deconfiguration. Like you can see the command here says install root.sh force deconfig parameter file, and this is your response file. Run. So you can see successfully deconfigured your Oracle restart stack. Then you can enter here. Done. So it's gonna remove all your inventory. You can see here. The deinstallation check operation summary, you can get it from here. And deinstall cleanup operation start, it will do a cleanup here. And this is your under temp location, under your temporary location, you can see this inventory. And then detach your Oracle home from your central inventory. That detach is done. Delete your inventory directory, done. And fail to delete your TFA files. Your TFA, you have to either it has no permission or you have to delete it manually. So if I can see here, you can see successfully detached your Oracle home, successfully deleted your grid home, and successfully deleted your central inventory, and then run this particular commands as a root user. I'll go here as a root user. I'll run this one. Yes. And I'll run this one. Yes. It is a directory. It has a couple of files, so I'll remove it, all of them. Done. So again, remove this one for a tab entry. Done. So that's it. Like once that is done, you can go back to your user and app. So you can verify first TFA user and app, and then why the TFA is not removed. TFA, it's owned by root user. That's why it is not removed. That's the one thing. Okay, only it is reporting for the TFA. So then what I can do, I can directly do rm-rf TFA. So, okay, I'm a root. I have to be logged in as a root user. Let's log in here. ll rm-rfa TFA. Done. So if I do git and what else in admin location, my clone, nothing is here. Okay, no worries. So I can remove this directory as well. So rm-rf tar. We don't need these directories. Go back one directory. 12C is already cleaned up, right? So 19C, if you check it out, 19C is already cleaned up. If you can go to Oracle home directory, and Oracle home also is cleaned up. So this is under user and app. So everything is cleaned up. So this is the way you can do your database drop and clean up your Oracle home, and drop your ASM and clean up your ASM Clusterware Oracle home. So I hope this is pretty informative, and then I'll come up with the new topics in my next session. Thank you guys.